All right. First question. Tell me how the two of you first met.
Well, first of all, this is my distributor, Dave Stewart.
And this is my son, Artis.
And I met him in 1972.
That's right.
I came in Kirby. He was a Kirby distributor, top distributor. And Dave brought me in the Kirby business.
And how many years have you been in Kirby now?
I've been in it for 47 years. And Dave, how long you been in Kirby?
65 years.
65 years. And what was your top month? And how many sales did you reach top month when you were a distributor?
As a distributor, my top month was 789. As a DT, an area distributor, I was 127. As a dealer, I was 33. And my best, probably greatest thing I've done in Kirby, I think it was that I put on 105 presentations, sold 105 Kirby's cash all in a row, and McGregor's down where the territory Dave Stewart had bought property. Isn't that fantastic?
I put him in McGregor down.
105 demos, 105 sales, and they were all cash.
Without missing, right. And at that time, I had just got burnt out in Burlington, and Dave said, Artis, come to Raleigh and work in Raleigh and just drive over here every morning. And I came to his sales meeting every day, and I had sold up to about 104, 105. Dave said, Artis, do you realize you done put on 105 demonstrations and sold 105 Kirby's and haven't missed? And you know what? I went out, I couldn't even give a Kirby. I wish he had never told me that.
How many years did you work with him?
With Mr. Stewart?
Uh-huh.
I came in 1972, and I got promoted out as a distributor in 1977.
Isn't that great? When did you go to work on the factory staff?
In 1992, that's when they called me up to become a national sales manager for Kirby. And, you know, prior to that, Mr. Stewart, I got to give him credit because, see, everything that I learned in Kirby, he taught me in all of his meetings. Yeah. And people said, look, where do you learn all the basics of Kirby? Mr. Stewart would have meetings every single month.
That's right.
And he would have those meetings. Sometime, boy, it'd be long meetings. I tried to figure out why in the world he having these meetings. But when I look back over it, I'm glad he did, because when I got on the staff, I had to put on distributors meeting, I had to put on area distributors meeting, I had to put on field supervisors meeting, all type of meetings. And I had taken notes from Mr. Stewart, and I was... But you know what? I want to ask Mr. Stewart a question.
Okay.
Now, Dave, what has been your best month?
1,373, I think, the best month.
Good gracious. And what's your best day in Kirby?
This day we sold, I think it was 77 or 73 Kirby's one day.
Good gracious.
We had a sell-a-thon.
And how many offices did you have?
I had top 17 offices, 270 sales dealers.
And how many people do you suppose you promoted?
I promoted over 27. Then there's some I trained.
Yeah.
And several of them have become wealthy.
Yeah.
And I've received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Kirby Company as a bonus for promoting people.
Yeah.
Kirby's just a fantastic business.
Artis, what's been your favorite position within the company?
I think, believe it or not, I think being a distributor, and I tell you the reason why, because in that role, you could really make a difference in the people's lives. They could come in, broke, disgusted, can't be trusted, but then you can see them evolve into becoming a very proficient, self-sufficient person, taking care of their families, becoming distributors. I actually recruited and trained one of the top distributors in the world, Leon Thomas, and sold over 94,000 Kirby's since he's been in the business, more than anybody else. 25 years.
None come close to it.
Right, 25 years of golden circle in a row. And now he's the divisional supervisor. He said that he wants to go ahead and get it up to 100,000 and then see what happens from there. And see, stories like that, had not been for Mrs. Stewart, it wouldn't be an Artis Webb. It wouldn't be a Leon Thomas.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, I promoted out 13 distributors myself.
Yeah.
And my daughter now is a distributor in Atlanta. And she just won a Mercedes. Her and Matt Everett's working together as partners. And they want to break every record. They told me to tell Mr. Stewart, every record he ever set, and she said, "Dad, every record you ever set, we're gonna break it. I'm gonna
There you
be
go.
your little artist Webb in heels."
That's great. That's great. And
But let me
you-
ask you a question, Marilyn.
Okay.
Now, how long have you been knowing me?
Oh my goodness. I grew up in Kirby. I started coming down to this shop when I was about 11 years old, filing cards and sweeping, cleaning up. I graduated from college in 1977, and I've worked with my dad for 41 years. In May, it'll be 42
I got to get a
years.
picture of this now. Now, do it again. Now, say this one more time.
Okay. I graduated from college in 1977 from North Carolina State, and I came to work with my dad that May. I have been with him for 41 years, and in May it'll be 42 years. I started out working doing in-house financing. I worked in collections. I have managed a service center. I recruited and trained salespeople. I sold in the field. I've knocked doors. I've pretty much done it all.
And now you're managing most of the business.
That's right.
So you manage all of the property he has there?
Yes. I run 2 small businesses. I manage this Kirby business, and I manage all of his commercial and residential and vacation rental
And
property.
Dave went to your organization when he was selling Kirby's to be polished up with Artist Webb. And he learned a tremendous amount of knowledge from you. He's now with a worldwide company, been with him 30 years. He travels all over the world. His phase of intellect is bank fraud primarily.
Okay. And one last question, Marilyn. When you think about Kirby, and I know I met you too, you and your brother, and I had no idea that my life would turn out the way it has turned out.
Yeah.
From your perspective, knowing me from the first time you met me to the point that you could remember me growing in the Kirby business, you ever think that my life would turn out the way it did?
Oh, yes. You were just always an exceptional. When he gave you the name Mr. Fantastic, it's so amazing to see how you came into our organization, his organization, and you were willing to learn. And he offered you opportunity, and you took it. A lot of people are offered the gift, but some people don't take it. And you were a hard worker, you were determined, you were very positive. I'm not the least bit surprised that you have been so successful in Kirby.
Okay.
And we're very proud of you that you came through our
That's right.
organization.
Your Kirby family with us.
So the last word you want to say to someone looking at this video, what would be one last statement that you wanted to say to any Kirby person, any Kirby wife, or any Kirby supporter? What would you say to them that actually trying to decide if this should be a lifetime career for them?
Oh my goodness, take the opportunity. Kirby is a phenomenal product. We have phenomenal support from our factory, from the distributors, the training. It still is, in my opinion, one of the last vestiges where a person can come to work who doesn't have a great maybe financial background or educational background, but if you are willing to work and follow the programs that Kirby has set out, the sky's the limit as far as opportunity is concerned.
And then Mr. Stewart, the same question. If you had to live your life all over again and do this, what would you say? First of all, would you do it again? And if you were, what would you say to a person looking at Kirby, trying to decide if this could be a lifetime career for them?
One of the reasons I came into Kirby, I was managing some stores in Louisville, Kentucky. My sister called me and told me about this fabulous product called Kirby. I was interested enough that I drove over and went to some of the meetings, and when I saw the opportunity that existed, I gave a resignation with the company I was with, and I came in Kirby in September of 1952. And I've won so many contests and been just about anywhere a person could go. And I'm just very fortunate that I had the opportunity to find out about Kirby. And it's a rare opportunity, and it's given me everything I've ever wanted plus. See, my father was killed when I was 5 years old, so I grew up without a dad. But it's been an exciting life. I'd just like to go over it again.
Okay, so maybe you could ask me the same question?
Sure.
Well,
Tell me something, Artis. If you had to do it over again, would you be in Kirby?
yes, I would. And because it's the greatest opportunity for any person that really, really want to get ahead and develop themselves personally, just from the personal development you get from the business itself. It makes you a better person. You become more confident. You become more self-assured. I think you become a better father, you become a better husband. You just become better at everything because you learn to overcome the objections. And one of the biggest objections I used to have is that I didn't think I could succeed because I was black. But when I realized I was going to be black my entire life, and Dave said, Artis, all you got to do is learn to overcome objections. Don't take nothing personally. See, don't deal in personalities, deal in objectives. And I realized that that was an objection that was self-induced. So I learned how to understand what that was, and now I'm able to overcome it. I want to leave one last word. When we get up in the morning, we look at the mirror. And when we look in the mirror, we see a picture of ourselves. And sometimes we spend a lot of time trying to dress that person on the outside up, but the person on the inside is the secret person of the heart. That is the person that's really dying, because that person inside makes all the decisions. And that person that makes those decisions sometimes can keep that outer person from succeeding. So I want to leave a little poem called A Man in the Glass. And so when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, and you look into that mirror, you see that person. This is what you want to say to that person, is that if you get what you want and you struggle for self, and the world makes you keen for a day, go back and look in the mirror of yourself and see what that person have to say. It's not your father, your mother, or your wife who judgment you have to pass. The person who count most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. Some people may think you're straight shooting and chum, call you a wonderful guy. The person in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. He's the fellow to please, never mind the rest, because he's with you clear to the end. You know you made your most dangerous, difficult task that the person in the glass is still your friend. You could fool the whole world, get past on your back at your past. Your final reward will be heartache and tears if you cheat the person in the glass. Live in a world that deals with bums, criminals, and thugs. We're constantly confronted with violence, crime, and drugs. If you plan to live a quality life with a lot of class, the person that refrains from those barbiturates are truly last. Stay in Kirby and learn the wisdom from the pros. Sure guarantee if your ultimate goal is to grow. Don't worry about the ups and downs and the fears and doubts. It's the nature of the business that develop millionaires and people like us with clout. R-H-I, 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 Rhino.